my name is Galaxia, and we will be watching Why Are Disney Parents Always So Dead by Super Carlin Brothers. When I saw this, I was like, that's a good question. Why are they always so dead? Like, don't you realize, like, the usual mother always dies and the father has to end up taking care of the child and stuff like that? It's kind of weird. But anyway, let's continue.
Hey, brother! Jay, do you know what makes for a great children's movie? The death of a parent. Disney parents are always so dead, and if they aren't already, they will be soon. Man, this got dark quick. Today we discuss why. I mean, we've got Snow White, Bambi, Aladdin, Anna, Elsa, Tarzan, Simba loses Mufasa, Ariel doesn't have a mother, Mowgli's parents are missing in action, Bella's missing a mother, Tiana's missing a father, Kuzco's missing both, Rapunzel has both of her parents, but she was taken from them, and if she wasn't, they'd most likely be dead. I'm actually surprised they weren't struck by a meteor upon reuniting. Point is, Disney loves killing off parents, which is super weird for a company that is like known for happiness and making dreams come true. What's the deal, Disney? Why can't people just have their parents? Well, one of the longest standing rumors is that Walt Disney himself made the conscious decision to kill off parental roles after the guilt he felt about his own mother's death. See, after the enormous success of Snow White at the box office, seriously, adjusted for inflation, Snow White makes Frozen look pitiful. Ha, Frozen, only making $1.2 billion. What a failure. Honestly, they should just cancel Frozen 2 right now and start off with Snow White and the Eight Dwarfs instead. Where the Eighth Dwarf is, wait for it, Olaf.
Oh god.
Because I love Olaf.
Oh, look at that. I've been impaled.
Anyway, point is, with the money earned from Snow White, Walt and his brother Roy decided to move their parents from their modest home in Oregon to a mansion in LA. What great sons, right? But then, tragically, there was a carbon monoxide leak in the new house, and their mother, Flora Disney, died of carbon monoxide poisoning. So as the story goes, this is the reason why Disney movies are just so parentless, because Walt was reflecting his own grief and guilt into his artwork, which makes for a good story and a really interesting reason behind this kind of bizarre phenomenon, but it's actually not true. Snow White, when it came out, was already parentless a year before Flora's death in 1938. And at that time, other parentless films, including Bambi and Pinocchio, were already well underway in production. In fact, if you thought Bambi was sad, it was based on a book called Bambi: A Life in the Woods, which was considered too grim and somber for a Disney movie, so they dialed it back to make it more lighthearted. Because that's how you describe Bambi, right? Yeah. Lighthearted? I can just imagine that production meeting. Guys, more lighthearted. How do we make this a happier movie? Lives? Lives? Franklin, you're fired. We said lighthearted, not change the entire company philosophy. Now, who said something about a skunk named Flower? Good thinking, not Franklin. But the point is, yes, Disney obviously dealt very heavily with the grief of his mother's death, but that wasn't the inspiration behind telling sad stories. But so if that's not the reason, then what is it? Well, one thing to keep in mind is that as great as Disney films are, they aren't entirely original. Most of them are at the very least loosely based on an
He's like talking how I usually talk. I was just talking about like Dockable Lovers, like what did the company think? Because every time they bite into like, what's her name? Yui. It sounds like they're biting into Apple. What, did they have a meeting and say, what should the biting sounds like? Someone bites an apple. Oh my god, write that down. Record it. Record it.
Existing fairy tale. And in many of those fairy tales, the parents were already dead or not present. So this storytelling technique has kind of been around for a very long time. Even outside of Disney, orphans or single parent children are pretty easy to come by. I mean, just look at Harry Potter, Dorothy, Katniss, Luke Skywalker, Aang, Frodo, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and well, You know what? Just go Google fictional orphans. The list goes on. That's because these types of stories are called a Bildungsroman, or coming-of-age tale. By the way, that's Bildungsroman. It's one word that sounds way better with a German accent,
Yeah.
which I don't have. But more importantly, is not Bildungsroman's kind of story. Dung. What a funny last name. Interestingly, even the term Bildungsroman came out well after these stories were highly popular. It's just the first term that was coined to describe this kind of story. So once again, we come back to our original question. Why are Disney parents, or really any parents in stories, always so dead? Because perfect isn't interesting. The story about the perfect little family where the kids come home from school and do their homework before cleaning their room and then squeeze in 30 minutes of video games before dinner isn't interesting, especially if the kids take their plates to the sink after asking to be excused from the table. But the movie about the kid who works after school to help support a
Some people actually do get paranoid when you like talk about it, and like, oh, they put their plates to the sink after they politely. Yeah, they're like, oh wait, let's just go back to reality. 5 minutes later, telling them to put their plate in the sink and wash their dishes. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Single mother, and then goes home and stays up late eating a dinner they cooked for themselves while working on a state-of-the-art robotics project for the science fair is interesting, because we are watching our hero make a decision. We are watching them make the right decision, despite having a perfectly acceptable excuse not to. And we all want to be that person, or at some point in our lives have wanted to be that person.
There's also another point of how he just said Tangle had both of her parents, and I just realized that's probably like the first Disney to have like both of their parents. But then she was like kidnapped from them, so that's the downside too. But Moana had both of her parents too. She wasn't kidnapped or anything. But was Moana made out of Disney? Oh yeah, it was. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, that's so. I guess they're trying to bring back like the parents thing. I guess I don't know.
That person, maybe not their situation. Though I will say, if I was given the opportunity to save all of China from the Huns by taking my father's position in the army after he was unfairly drafted at an old age, I totally would have.
Also
Some people
had her
just
parents,
get all the
I
opportunities. It's not my fault my parents raised me in a loving household during peacetime. Just kidding. Love you, Mom and Dad. But my point is, these stories allow you to live vicariously through a precarious situation. They let you believe that if you were ever in a place where you had to make such a decision that could change your life and the lives of the people around you, then you would. And they are particularly effective with dead parents, because it forces children, who are usually the target audience for these kind of stories, to come of age sooner than they would otherwise, and to do so without the guidance of a parent. So there you go, guys. That is why Disney is just so parentless. But for my question of the day, which Disney character did you relate to the most? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the towel section.
Anyway, yeah, that's a good question. Which Disney character did I relate to the most? I think the Disney character that I did relate to the most was Moana. Right, Rafina? Like, we had like a better understanding of her, like how some parents actually do that. They will cut down your dreams so you won't have to do it. Not like my parents. No. They actually encouraged me to do things. Which is, yeah. But anyway, he did make a valid point. Why are Disney parents so dead? Like, Bambi's mom died. Lion King, Mufasa died. Terrible scene ever. I think I didn't even cry. I was really sad, but I didn't cry. What else? Dalmatian lost their pups. Well, they
found their pups.
Yeah. Well, that's not really parenting. And it wasn't really their fault. I kind of figure out like it was their owner's fault, because they're all like, Let's go out for a walk. Even though Cruella de Vil tried to kidnap y'all. Who else lost their parents in a tragic way? Tangle was kidnapped, but at least she still had her parents. Moana just went to go and join the water. She just wanted to go water. Frozen, tragic death of her parents, which ended on a sad. Oh, My Little Mermaid. She didn't even remember her mom. That's how young she was when she died. She didn't remember her until like the third movie.
Her mom went on vacation.
No, she knew her mom died. I'm pretty sure her father told her. In a sad, particular way. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Like on this description down below. I will be putting my channel, like I always say, and their channel, his channel, that you should be watching more of his videos. I will put the original video down below, so you can watch that video, just in case if I was talking too much during this video, because I sometimes get annoyed when I'm trying to watch a video and people are talking too much, and that's why I put original videos down below so you can watch it. I hope you like this video. I've been trying so hard to get so many views on my video. The most views that I actually got on one of my videos is Attack on Titan, so I'm going to be continue doing that. I heard I got like at least 18 hours and 33 minutes and 32 seconds until the next episode of Attack on Titan comes on. I will be doing that video probably tomorrow or when the alarm comes off. So anyway, bye-bye.